Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today I'm going to be talking about Tulsi Gabbard not being invited to CNN's town hall. Iowa town hall, I think it is. But first, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The GoFundMe link is in the description box. If you got $5 or more laying around and you want to donate money to a charity, you can at Devon's Journey to Recovery. GoFundMe link in the description box. All right. As you can see the title there, Gabbard says she received no reason from CNN for lack of invitation to town halls. I'll read on. It says, Gabbard is currently polling at 4.8% in the Real Clear Politics Index of polls in New Hampshire, ahead of, I guess it's for New Hampshire town hall then, not Iowa, ahead of tech entrepreneur Andrew Yang, businessman Tom Steyer, and former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick. Yang, Steyer, and Patrick, along with former Vice President Joe Biden, former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg, and Senators Bernie Sanders from Vermont, Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts, and Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota, all received invites to participate in the two-night event. A quote from Gabbard says, "We have reached out, I think, more than once and received no explanation," Gabbard told Fox News on Tuesday. Oh, sorry. Let me add this part in. Yeah. I don't think we've gotten a response to date about why they're excluding the first female combat veteran ever to run for president, the only woman of color in the race, she added. Gotta play politics, you know. Bring that identity in there. Bring your credentials with you. But yeah. By, everyone's dipshit criteria, she's apparently should be up there, right? But, as you know, I'm going to go off of my criteria, which is, do you mean well, and do you have unique ideas that we usually don't see from presidential candidates that could probably make the world a better place? Like, oh, she has both of those for me. I believe she means well, and her ideas about foreign policy, mentioning things that no one else will fucking mention. I think she's by far the best on foreign policy. By far. When I hear Bernie Sanders talking about this is the worst president we've ever had, or the most dangerous president in U.S. history, I'm like, were you not around during the George Bush era? What about Barack Obama? Were you alive, Bernie? Now, I did give credit to Bernie Sanders in regards to the Israel-Palestine thing about conditioning money that we send to them, conditioning the aid. And it's like, she might pass you there, too. I've heard Michael Tracy recently speaking about Michael Tracy, who's been following Tulsi Gabbard during her town halls and things she doesn't say, on national TV. And it's something like, you'll hear words like occupation or illegal occupation, maybe like a real two-state solution. Granted, I think, it's like, oh, I'll do better than you, Tulsi Gabbard, and Bernie Sanders. I'm very sure I'd do better than both of them, or anyone else running in the fucking race. But at the same time, if you're going to compare them to each other, it's like, oh, okay, this person seems like she adds value to, well-intentioned people striving for a better world. It seems like she adds value, relatively speaking, considering the people that are running, the big names that are running. It seems like she adds value. Deval Patrick, Tom Steyer, Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar. Are you guys adding value to making the world a better place? Or are you actually taking it away by plotting and scheming and finding ways to take down people that it might actually mean well? I also want to shift some attention to, our favorite indie news media outlets. They know who they are. You see, they took someone who was relying on a grassroots effort to make her have her message out there in the public, and they've spent time to make sure that their supporters, these indie news networks, that their supporters wouldn't support her. In fact, when they ran out of ideas to try and smear her with, they just said, just fuck it, you're polling so low, just drop out so that Bernie can get your supporters. It's like, but she's polling so low, so why aren't you saying it? What about Elizabeth Warren? Right? Isn't it like 50-some% of her followers will just flood over to Bernie? How come you're not telling her to drop out? Maybe you are now, but at that time when I was saying Elizabeth Warren shouldn't be here, right? Bernie shouldn't be working on a team with Elizabeth Warren. When I was saying that, it was all cool to just say she's number 2, the second best progressive. If Bernie doesn't make it, she can do it. They have like the same policies. So yeah, you can shift some blame to these indie news networks that are, independent thinking. They're definitely no Democratic Party style thinking. What's he doing? Another cover song of someone else's work, changing the lyrics around and saying, "Oh, it's unique and funny."
This is piss.
Sorry, James has Steven Crowder live stream. He has Ben Shapiro on today. Hopefully they talk about some foreign policy stuff. Because that'll be the shit that fucking ends Crowder. It'll tank him. He'll be stagnant with a certain group of followers, that are essentially just Ben Shapiro fans too. That's right. That's right. No Palestinian rights over here. If you voted for Barack Obama, you're a fake Jew. Because he doesn't help Israel enough. Even though he does. Just not enough. That deal to make sure another country doesn't get nuclear weapons was terrible.
You're a Jew in name only.
Little fucking creeps. Alright. Yeah, alright. That's it from me. Please subscribe if you like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think. Should Tulsi be there? Yes? No? Do you think she adds value to the race, as in her ideology, her thoughts? Do they add something to the whole discussion of what's going on? Or is she just poaching votes from Bernie Sanders and she should drop out immediately and endorse him? You tell me. I saw Baby Dickface say that. That's the progressive voice. Baby Dickface. I heard him talk about that. So yeah, tell me what you think. Don't forget to donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery GoFundMe link in the description box. With all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in, and then you wanna get out. When you get the money to buy yourself a car, so how will you wear your leisure? You zip it back and front on the fence together. Weekends in leather, flip to the